Lots of love and regards to each one of you. A very warm welcome to all the new subscribers and Merry Christmas to each and every twin out there. I am extremely happy as I'm sharing this message because not only is this the year end message for Twin Flames, but also a message that I want to share with each one of you because we have some really important messages coming through that are going to take us forward in our life. But most importantly, I wanted to take some time off to share some real progress of some real twin flames in 3D because as a reader, for me, there is nothing more satisfying and more overwhelming in a very positive way to see the progress that my clients make. So, from the first time that they connected with me 1 year ago, 2 years ago, up until today, when they are actually seeing results in their life, it's not just their victory, but it's mine. And I want to say one thing that at any given time, if I was meant to prove my words to any person, I have all my records in place. Okay, so it's not some bullshit that I make up on my own. Time and again on my Facebook page, there are real twins who post real comments, conversing with me, communicating with me, stating their experiences. So it's not just under the videos, but under each post on my Facebook page where real twins clearly state that they do resonate with my messages or the progress that I state. They have seen it in their own lives. And of course, if they are my own clients, then I have nothing more to say because this is a very sacred path. And one thing that I'm very clear about, and I state this to every person, irrespective of whether you're my twin client or you are just someone who's listening to me as a subscriber, is that your twin flame path and your twin flame story is extremely private and must always be kept extremely private and confidential. And it's not something that is meant to be shared on public platforms, no matter who reader you listen to, I mean, which reader you listen to, which platform on social media you visit. The more you extend your energies and your private life outside, the more prone you are to a lot of jealousy and negativity coming your way, because sometimes people, even without having a conscious intention to put you down, there are some very jealous people out there who, instead of looking at their own healing, they get jealous of the fact that, oh my God, I have not seen progress and I'm down in the dumps, and here people are having their unions, and I just don't want anyone to experience those kind of negative energies, even in the most remote way possible. So I hope you get what I'm trying to say. But there's this first client of mine uh, who connected with me 2 years ago. And this lady was introduced to me by my soul brother. She has now gotten married to her twin, and I'm extremely happy for her. I did, I believe, mention this a few months ago, perhaps on my Facebook page, and also in one of the videos. The second client I speak of connected with me also about 2 years ago, from having zero contact from her twin to now in this current moment wherein they both are back to being friends and a very good support for one another. They've been in constant contact from the last 8 months, and both have decided to keep the friendship going, not get married, but they are both focusing on their respective careers and at the same time being each other's support. The third client of mine who connected with me last year, she's from India. From being, her twin being a commitment freak to now being literally her guide, her best friend who's actually guiding her in her job situation. He himself has moved abroad and now he's asking her to apply for jobs there so she can also move there. I mean, it's so beautiful to see that twins are not just uniting, but they are helping and supporting one another in their respective jobs, in their respective careers, how they are beautifully there for each other so that both can succeed. And my fourth client, Matt, who's an extremely dear client of mine, he actually got married to his twin in the beginning of 2019, somewhere around Jan 2019. And now both him and his wife, both the twins basically, they're expecting to start their family in as 2020 starts. And I think I'm just so very happy. And trust me guys, these are just four real examples of real twins, but there are so many people out there who are not even my clients, who are actually making real progress. And this is what I want you to see, and this is what your focus should be. Okay. And the real reason why I'm even bothering to state this progress is not only because this is an year end, so I want to have a positive recap of how the whole year has passed, although it was pretty challenging on many aspects for so many of us. But it's like, what I'm trying to say is that if you are someone who loves cooking and you just start watching, let's say, Master Chef, there's no point watching Master Chef if you cannot learn anything from it, and if you cannot practice at least one dish out of the 15 dishes that you saw. And the whole point being that now, up until 2020, it's really important to start putting your learning and putting your spiritual knowledge and all the things that you have learned up until now. It's no more about listening to YouTube readings and masculine readings and all of that jazz. You have to put your spiritual work into practice, okay? Because that is what is going to lead you forward. And I'm not, I'm going to be honest with everyone. It's not like, life will suddenly change out of the blues and it'll turn into a bed of roses with the onset of 2020. But with each little day and with every little practice that we put forward, we can bring about that beautiful change. Another thing is that if you're someone who has recently been on your twin flame path, let's say you got to know you're a twin flame 6 months ago or 1.5 years ago, you cannot start comparing your situation with people who are now in union, because all the clients that I speak of who are now on the verge of their unions, 3D unions, it has been a long, one hell of a work for them. They've been working their ass off from more than 4 years. For some, it took 4 years, for some, it took 6 years. And it's not the number that matters. What matters is our mindset and how quickly we understand the depth of the fact that what really a twin flame connection is. And therefore, before I get to the main energies, like how the last few days of 2019 are looking like and what to expect, I want to state certain things and points very clearly. And the point being that it is very important to understand that not every person is a twin flame, and not each twin is meant to have a romantic 3D union. Okay. However, as I have stated through my examples, you can come to a state of acceptance, realization, and truly be each other's support. I'm not saying that there won't be any unions at all. On the contrary, unions have happened and they will continue to happen. But out of, let's say, 100 twins, not all the 100 are meant to unite. They might be 10 or 20 or 1 or 2 percentage out of the whole category that is not meant to unite. Okay, it's not in your path at this point in time. So what is important is that before you see any kind of result, we all have our own inner internal messes to resolve. And therefore, a very good idea or the best approach to see a positive shift in your life is when you start dropping the resentment. Because honestly, guys, I really feel that it is an absolute insult if you just claim that you're a twin flame, but you don't even bother to understand the meaning, the deep meaning behind being a twin flame, and continue to have these resentments and these negative attitude, but fail to address, and understand what the other person is trying to teach you. So all the wonderful readings that you've heard on YouTube, please make sure that you put that work into practice, because without doing your inner work, you're not getting anywhere. Okay. And there are no judgments here again. I also want to make one thing very clear. It's very funny and ironic that some of my last few messages have been extremely positive. I have always tried my best to share positive updates and uplifting messages. However, there are still those 3 or 4 people who have got a piece of my mind because of their sheer negativity and attitude, whatever they gave me. And each person, I clearly know who has disliked my video, because this one woman, she is so bitter and resentful that It's ridiculous for me to see that in a highly positive video, she's actually disliked a video. And I know exactly who you are, okay? But all I want to say is that if you get this sadistic pleasure of going and disliking videos that are giving out messages that are full of positivity, then it's really not going to impact me or my life or the life of those twins who are making real progress in this real world. But you have to, look at your own attitude. If you feel happy and find happiness and it's a great release for you to come and dislike my video, please feel free to do that. Give me 10 dislikes or 100 dislikes, I really don't care, because my messages and my path is very sacred and I know exactly what I'm doing. So your bitterness is really not going to impact me, and it says everything about me. So the one thing that you need to dislike, if at all, is your own negative attitude. So kindly shift that. And I don't bother naming people, but I clearly know who is doing what and who has what kind of feelings to me. All right. Finally, I cannot ignore the fact how grateful I am. With the onset of 2020, I'm stepping into my third year of successfully guiding twin flames. I have revamped my website. Anyone that feels guided to connect with me, please feel free to visit my website, because now it's not just the reading options but also the coaching and mentoring option, the option for crystals and what kind of products I'm offering. So there is a whole lot of thing out there for you to explore. And if at any given point you want to connect with me, feel free to visit my website, follow the instructions, and feel free to email me whatever queries you have. Okay. And finally, looking at the last few days of 2019 and moving on to 2020, the first thing that I want to say is that, as you may have seen on screen, I actually stuck a picture of that card with 5 sevens on it, because trust me, the energy of number sevens is very strong. Now, what does that mean? Number 7 is a highly spiritual number, okay? And it denotes many things, but among the many things that it denotes, it symbolizes our 7 chakras. It symbolizes our spiritual yearnings, collective consciousness, deep feelings and emotions that we have, our own inner work, reflection, going within, putting our spiritual wisdom into practice and contemplation. So, the presence of number sevens and seeing them repeatedly is actually a very auspicious sign, because you can be rest assured that you're heading in the right direction. And even if certain answers or outcomes or results are not clear at this point in time, know that you are being commended for your hard work, and your efforts are certainly going to be rewarded. I'm also guided to say that as we are stepping into 2020, it's a great time for some sort of a higher learning or further studies or research of some kind for us to start, whether this is whether this is a serious hobby that you want to pursue, like coaching, art, cooking, vlogging, entertainment, or simply expanding your spiritual wisdom by gaining some sort of a certification, or learning something new. You must start that, because anything that genuinely makes you happy, and anything that is like your soul's calling, something that you love doing, you must start working on it, because eventually you have to share that with the world. Okay, and that is what is going to eventually bring you true joy and abundance on all levels. And if I briefly comment on the job and career situation for many of you, for many of the twins, and this is, of course, a general reading or a general message, right? So it may not resonate with each person out there, but I feel that many of the twins, you may be working diligently and keeping a calm exterior, but deep inside, there is a lot of emotional hurt and inner turmoil and uncertainties, insecurities about about the future. And it's not like, I'm not saying that you cannot manage yourself, but on the contrary, you may be managing more than needed. juggling way more than your part, a lot of responsibilities that actually have been impacting your peace of mind and your sense of balance. And I also feel that many of the twins are at this point in time maybe having some health issues. So it is very important to calm down and avoid an extreme of anything, like an extreme mood swing or extreme drama or some sort of an addiction, just to resort to a, getaway basically. But what I'm trying to say is that the new year will start on a very positive note. And if you devote the coming 6 months working on your passions, you are going to manifest some wonderful creative work opportunities that, in some cases, even make you travel or relocate. Because I also see relocations for many twins. So, the city where you're living, it's very likely that in the coming 6 months you move to a new location. And also the possibility of meeting your soulmate for those of you who perhaps still have their inner work to do. I mean, it's a very strong likelihood that a new soulmate enters your life, and it's going to be a very solid sort of a partnership. Finally, what I want to say is that as far as the last 4 5 days of 2019 are concerned, it's a beautiful and healing energy that I'm seeing. Although some twins might feel sad or isolated for a few hours or a few moments, or a sense of abandonment may creep in, but honestly, I'm not worried for you. And you know why that is? It's just because, like the winter turns to spring, so will your momentary grief lead you to the much needed inner work and deep soul searching that's going to actually recharge you and help you to gain perspective as far as your life ahead is concerned. Because you're going to sit down and start planning your life ahead. What are the goals you need to work on, and how are you going to achieve them? Who needs to be dropped from your life? What brings you joy? What brings you grief? I mean, these are the kind of answers you're going to be focusing on that ultimately take you on your path forward. And all the answers that you seek, they're coming to you either through the dream state or a sense of knowing. Your intuition is truly guiding you. But I want to say that deep replenishment and deep healing is happening for you right now. And this healing is happening so that whatever is holding you back, basically, you'll be guided to release your inner fears and get ready to take major decisions. Like I said, whatever that brings you totally in line with your path in the days ahead. And just like a gardener takes care of his flowers, you'll begin taking steps towards self care and self love. And that's a very, very positive message, because 2020 is going to be an year of self love, self growth, positivity, and determination, and no more, dropping that victim mindset and finding the love within. And on that note, I wish everyone not just a Merry Christmas, but a Happy New Year in advance. And if you are traveling or with your, plan to celebrate with your family and friends, then have a great time. And anyone that is feeling lonely or upset, please use the few days left to not, see yourself as a victim, but know that we are all supported. Take some time off to gift yourself something. Go and gift yourself a beautiful dress, a beautiful bag, or simply a movie or an outing with a friend, someone with whom you can have a heart to heart chat, because that is what is needed at this point in time. And make sure that it's really important to be good and to be a nice person, but before you do that, you have to be good to your own self, right? So I wish everyone a very happy new year, and I give thanks to all those of you who have been my subscribers and my clients for so many years now. And I hope and pray that I can guide you to the best of my ability and offer you more services that are in line with your path, and anything that I can do to help in your situation, I will do my best always. So look after yourself, guys. I send you so much love.